Hey friends, it's my Thursday spiritual blogging video. I'm excited to see you again. I will be in Atlanta this weekend for my niece's wedding. I'm super excited. And I was kind of guided to share today something I talk about all the time. So if you've heard me talk about this, you don't have to listen. Of course, I want you to because I'm doing this, putting this out there, but it's about how I accepted my spiritual experiences. I feel like I've written about this on my Substack. I made videos about this, but it's really what I was guided to share about again, in case you're also trying to decide if you should accept your own spiritual experiences. I think I talk about this every week. Um, the first part of this that I wanted to share about in this installment of the same topic is that if it's bringing you closer to love, it's worth sitting with. So, um, obviously, sit with your experiences, but I'm speaking specifically about spiritual experiences. Have you had a spiritual experience that brought you closer to love and to your heart? That is a very valid thing to explore because it might not make sense in the physical world or the belief system you were raised with. If your belief system was like mine, which was like more rationalist or whatever you want to call that, material reductionist, I started having spiritual experiences that didn't make any sense to me in that mindset. I seriously thought I was losing it. Um, I've talked about, visiting the shaman before. One of the things he said that first time was like, "You're just having an intellectual crisis. It's okay. It'll be over soon." What? Yeah, I was having an intellectual crisis. I was seeing things. Um, uh, I mean, the stories are too good. At the time, it was just my life, and I was very confused. But so yes, sitting with your experiences, did they make you feel better? Maybe they don't make sense. That you might have felt an angel, or that you felt this ineffable peace that doesn't make sense in your mind view of the world. But if you've had an experience that's beyond this world and it made your life better, that's really worth exploring. That's worth considering. I would write it down and write down what happened and how you felt. It's nice to really sit with these experiences. So if it made you feel better, I think that's really worth looking at. And that goes, I said this in a session today with someone, that goes for anything you're exploring. Once you get to exploring the spiritual world or anything, is it bringing you back into alignment with your heart? Are you feeling love when you explore this teaching? That was my first litmus test when I started healing when I was 23. What was making me feel my heart? What was making me feel closer to the love that I was trying to return to? I didn't know I was like returning to it, but that I was like, is this helping me? Is this not? So I would go towards the things that helped me. And then that brought me to my spiritual experience. And as I went towards the things that helped me heal more and more. And then I got very confused because once I entered the spiritual world, as any one of you probably has seen, and this is why I keep teaching online, even though it's like a little uncomfortable, that there's just so many people out there and they're all fine, but some people are going to tell you you definitely need their teaching, or you definitely need to know about this different thing, or there's aliens, or there's, I don't even know, dragons. There's all kinds of stuff out there. And I would get really overwhelmed, especially during my spiritual experience towards the end, because I'd met all these people in New York through doing all this, like trying to meet the shaman, and then hearing everyone was like, you should get these things. And I was just like, what? I don't really know. But I was having these beautiful experiences of God and love. And in the end, if it didn't bring me closer to love and balance and peace in my heart, then I had to step away from it. And I found in my experience, a little bit of a pushover. People like really were insistent that their way is a really good way. You should definitely like do whatever they say. You shouldn't, unless it's bringing you a lot of joy and you're getting something out of it. So see if that teaching or that teacher or whoever is bringing you more wisdom and peace and balance and joy. That's again why it's important to know how you feel about things. If you're feeling more peace and balance and joy from exploring certain aspects in the spiritual world, keep working, keep going towards that, feeling that joy. And that goes for anything. Like some people have found certain religions bring them further from peace and joy, or certain religions bring them, like religious experiences or churches or synagogues or whatever. There's so many facets to the human experience in this realm, but I found like arguing Bible quotes with people brings me really far from my joyful, peaceful heart. So, and in fact, even just trying to think too much about religion because I come from an interfaith family, it definitely brings me out into a state of stress and not into that peaceful state that I felt from God, So that's something I think about. Um, okay, so that was the part of accepting my own experience, accepting your own experiences. Did it bring you closer to love? This goes for your spiritual experiences and then for many spiritual teachers that you might find. Um, it also helped me to accept my experiences to have verifiable evidential readings. So it has helped me to start doing readings and sessions for people because for a long time, I really just thought I'd lost my mind. Once I couldn't, you guys know the story if you've heard me. Once I couldn't escape the earth, I just thought I lost my mind and I ignored it. But then as I reconnected with my experience and relearned how to connect with angels and feel all that spiritual guidance, when I do sessions for people, I hear things. I would never believe them. I say things that I get. And granted, I'm not, spirit is always perfect. God's source is always perfect. I'm still a human filter. Some days I'm on. I can see so clearly. Other days I'm tired or, the connection, but pretty good. My connection's been consistently pretty good, especially since I've been full time this summer doing sessions for people. It's been awesome. You can book with me. I'll put a thing in the comments, a link in the description. Um, so yeah, when I say things and I don't know this person at all, I try to find out zero info about the person. Obviously, I don't Google them. I know people who are skeptics. These are people I know in my life would say, "Oh, well, they're just Googling you." But I do not Google people. I mean, I wouldn't even know this kind of stuff anyway, because it's all soul level stuff they're working on from like childhood, usually, or that stuff in their relationships. And then I tune in and I hear stuff and they're saying, yes, 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 100%. This is what I'm going through. This is my life. And I'm just hearing it. So that hugely has helped me accept my experiences. Another thing the shaman told me was that, and I don't know if this is true. I don't know what y'all think about this, but he did say, if you have spiritual abilities and you don't use them for others, I've said this in other videos, then he said you would be schizophrenic. So having spiritual connection and using it in service helps process all of that. I do think like for the times when I wasn't accessing my spiritual gifts, I was really unbalanced. I don't know if people could tell that, but I was. And starting to be able to retune into my spiritual experience, spiritual connection, and use it in service for people, it's really, not only is it balancing, but it helps me accept that the spiritual world is real. Um, so yeah, trusting your own experience and did it bring you towards love, especially like actually feeling love in your heart, doing verifiable like readings for other people is really, really valuable. Psychic dreams. These are all the things I've talked about before, but I felt really guided to do it again. I don't know why. Maybe I have a lot of skeptics watching me. I mean, I was deeply skeptical. I literally had a spiritual experience that now I'm in the spiritual world. People like want these experiences. They want to hear about them on interviews. They want to know how to have them. And I was just thinking that I lost my mind and trying to ignore it because it was so out there for me. Anyway, having psychic dreams helped me accept my experience because I wasn't raised to think that psychic dreams were a thing. I wasn't raised to think psychics were a thing. I mean, I did grow up in New Orleans, so I was around it, but my like childhood belief system was really ingrained, like rational, smart, don't believe stupid things. So I think that's why I like to talk about this. Like you can be spiritual and not like lose your sense of reason. And I think that's important for all of us. If you're on the spiritual journey, you can still be smart and accept that it's a spiritual world. In fact, I think it makes you more smart at this point. But I'll talk about that later. I think it is to me, it just seems like the next evolutionary step. And when I think about the way I used to believe that everything was rational, everything was scientific, I feel like that was really unevolved, especially once I met my stepdad. And I'm not saying it just seems like it's obvious there's more than just your mind. It doesn't mean you need to go far out and like live on an ashram and wear muumuus and shake a rattle all day unless that's I think that and I think that my friends that are more rational, like, and my dad and people like that, I think they think if you start to believe in a spiritual world, you just go way on the other side and you're full of hooey and you are a charlatan and taking advantage of people. I don't think that it has to be that way. I think there's a balance, there's a middle ground where you can believe in the spiritual world and the rational world. It seems to be pretty common among the people I know now, but I do have some dear friends who are still like devout atheist rational people. So I feel like I'm still kind of hearing about that mindset. Even if I'm not around it as much, I still hear it a lot, um, just from some of my friends. So anyway, okay, wait, I was talking, oh, the dreams. I had a point. Psychic dreams. So I wasn't raised to believe in psychic dreams. I started having them the week my spiritual experience started, and they have been consistent through my life since then. They were very strong during my spiritual experience, especially giving me guidance about things to do. Um, that was real for me. I couldn't deny that that was actually happening. And it really just happened at all of this was such at a soul level that it never scared me. I just got used to having these dreams that would happen later. And they come and go again. Like sometimes they're really strong. They were really strong when I lived in the cabin. They're strong when I need them. You know, when I need some guidance, I get it. Or when I need to know about something that's going to happen or something that's going on with a friend. But I really don't have psychic dreams all the time. My dreams this week have been really weird, full of energy and like me. I'm going to a lot of places in my dreams this week and maybe a couple like psychic connections with friends, but nothing really profound. No more like dreams about the future. Maybe I'll get another one soon. I know everything's like really intense right now. So anyway, psychic dreams was another way I accepted my experience. I mean, there's definitely more going on if I'm having dreams that come true later, and they didn't start till the week of my spiritual experience. I wasn't having dreams like that before. So, and then it made me look back on so many experiences in my life that I couldn't explain. Not so many, but a few that had happened in my childhood. And I think it's just totally natural at this point to accept that a spiritual reality is real and just live within, still be a human. I'm still have a job. I mean, I know I am putting these videos out there, but I still have a regular life. I have a kid. I eat ice cream. Sometimes eat ice cream. I don't know. Like, I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Like, I don't think you have to, I don't think, unless you want to. And some people, that's their perfect expression. It doesn't have to be a certain way, but also if you're on the rational side of things and you're thinking about dipping your toe into the spiritual side of life, you don't have to change who you are, and you don't have to start dressing differently unless you want to. The main thing is just tuning in and feeling your heart and following that inner guidance, and that's all it is. That's where we come from. You just feel it, you get tuned in with it. I mean, yeah, you can take it pretty far. I feel like part of why I'm talking about this, I'm going to write about it maybe in my Substack at some point, but I kind of went through like a breakup with a very rational person who part of why we broke up was he said I was too far gone into the spiritual side of life. I think it's because I went to a talk about aliens and then I said all sci-fi is real when I got back from the talk. And I mean, it doesn't seem that weird to me to say that. I don't know. I don't really care if you think sci-fi is real or not, or aliens are real or not. Does it make you feel more loved? But I guess I freaked him out. And oh well, I don't know. I feel like I'm still a pretty rational person, but there's a lot more that we don't understand in the world. That's what that talk showed me. Did it make me start acting differently? Did I float off to another planet? No, I still like went to sleep that night. I still ate breakfast. I thought it was an interesting talk. I just think our minds can explore all kinds of things. It could be aliens or physics or lampshades. Sorry, I'm looking at a lamp across the room. But ultimately it needs to bring you back to a place of love. And that's why I didn't really think the alien thing mattered that much. I feel like it doesn't really matter what you believe about stuff like that. Are you being a kind, gentle, joyful person? Maybe some aliens will teach us how to do that. No, just kidding. Sorry. Um, okay, I hope that doesn't sound too weird, but I've just met too many people who've had experiences with that. Anyway, that's why I've been thinking about it because I went through that breakup with my friend who was they said I'd gone too far since I moved to Colorado into like the spiritual world. But I just think I know more people that are open about it and into it. So you don't have to go too far like I have, I guess. I think I have felt more safe to share all this information now that I live out here because I didn't feel as safe to do that in the Deep South. And I feel like way more accepted and it's not that big of a deal to do what I'm doing. So that's been really cool. Okay, sorry, that was my personal story about why I was sharing about how I accepted my spiritual experiences. It's been kind of a bummer because honestly, the truth is when people tell me they don't believe in spirituality, and he did tell me this at one point, I giggled a little bit because he said, I don't believe in souls. And I just like laughed because I thought it was funny, which wasn't nice. Um, uh, but it is funny to me because I see people's auras. Like I'm literally seeing your soul. Like I've had psychic dreams about this person. I've had like spiritual knowing and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, you don't believe in souls. Like that's cute. Like, I don't know, like you have one. I'm seeing it. Um, and I'm not trying to diminish it, but I kind of feel like let's move on, people. Let's like get a little more evolved. Like there definitely is souls, and you definitely have spiritual ability. And I think that's what happened with me and my stepdad. I'm really blabbing at this point. Thank y'all for listening. Um, I was having spiritual experiences. He was dreaming that I was an angel. He was seeing all this stuff. Like I was having light around me all the time, and I didn't really believe in it. And so I think I sometimes I pushed him away more than I feel like I should have because he was coming to me like with these dreams, telling me about these dreams. He was teaching me teachings, which I was very grateful for. It's not like I rejected any of the teachings, but I was also like, nah, like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that to him. I was always very grateful, but at the same time, internally, I still didn't believe in it. And that I'm embarrassed about that because now I'm so far down the line of like, wow, I had a real gift to have that mentor in my life with my stepdad. My spiritual experience was 100% real, but I had to sit with it for so long and I was literally living through it. So when a friend slash lover slash ex-boyfriend tells me that he doesn't believe in souls and I'm like literally seeing his aura, I don't know, it seems silly to me, but I guess everyone can believe what they want. But the truth is we are spiritual beings. But I guess if you tell me that you're not a spiritual being and I'm seeing your spiritual, beautiful heart shining out so strong, it was hard for me not to laugh and I feel kind of bad about it. Anyway, we're not talking anymore because not just because of that, but that was part of a few different things that came up. So it's a bummer. I've dated too many atheists. I like atheists, I guess, because I was raised that way. And eventually I guess it just can't work. Anyway, the last way I accepted my spiritual experience, and this is a video I've done before. So, I just talk about the different ways I accepted it, and that there were four main ones, and I've gone through three, and I've almost broached the fourth one, which is having spiritual mentors in my life who believed in a spiritual reality, which was my stepdad and the shaman I worked with. The shaman who just asked me to contribute to his book, his new book, the one I thought was so weird, and I'm really sorry. And yes, I'm gonna write a little, it's like a case study over time of stuff that I learned, basically. That's kind of cool. I hope he puts it in there. If he does, I'll share it with y'all. Um, anyway, so I had people in my life that absolutely verified and walked a world that was spiritual. I would say of all the people that I met like that, it was really my stepdad that helped me the most because I trusted him because he was a normal person. He was a Marine, he was an engineer. He did not walk around talking about his spiritual gifts or the spiritual things he knew. He really, again, just told me about it when I was having my spiritual experience and wrote me some letters about it. And if I wouldn't have had him, I don't know if I would have accepted my experience. I still barely accepted it. It still took me 15 plus years to accept it. So, um, yeah, having spiritual mentors. So that's part of why I'm doing this, I guess. And I've been really grateful because I've had a few people book with me that I got to see this week who found me from my YouTube blabbing. And it meant so much because I thought, I'm sure like you, I feel very weird most of the time. I feel like I don't fit in a lot of ways. I feel a little strange, like I'm spiritual. I mean, maybe I don't seem that way on the surface, but like I do feel like I don't fit in a lot. I'm spiritual and I'm sensitive and sometimes I'm awkward. And then there's other people that are finding me and they're resonating with this I'm putting out. So thank you. And that's why I'm doing this, because my stepdad made a huge difference in my life to accepting my experiences. And I hope I can do that for you. So to recap all four, if I can remember them, is it bringing you closer to love and peace and joy? Because my experience did, and that mattered. That made a difference. Um, Psychic dreams, doing verifiable readings. That's not an order from this video, but you know what I mean. So having psychic dreams that came true, doing readings for people that are verifiable, or sessions where I hear things from the angels and guides and like never could know them, verified my spiritual experience. And lastly, having spiritual mentors like my stepdad who could verify for me. So oh my God, this is a really long video. I just saw it's 21 minutes. It's because I just filled y'all in on my love life with the atheist, which is now it's over. Anyway, thanks for listening. I love y'all a lot, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be in Atlanta at a wedding, and I hope you have a great, great time. And thanks for listening to this very long video. I hope it helps you grasp and make sense of your own spiritual experiences. They're going to be perfect for you. They might be different than mine, but they'll be just right for you. I love y'all. Bye.